Hey there and welcome to the Max Not Binary. I'm Max. Today we are back with some more 100k challenge here on Oxygen Not Included. We are doing okay so far. Hello Neo, welcome in today. I hope you are well. So it's going okay so far is the hello Kaylee, welcome in today. Oh, hang on, I can't see the chat. It's not necessarily ideal. There we go. Indeed. Well, I mean, I say indeed to thanks God it's Friday. It obviously makes literal no difference to me currently. But you know, I'm glad for everyone else that it is Friday. Oh, Neo has a bit of hypothermia there, to the surprise of no one, really. So, we're trying to move water here, but I notice we're having a bit of a problem. I think one of the things that I would like to do is move all of this debris out of here. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this all but sweep only. And we're going to sweep everything in here out. So that we can just take some of the cold away, so we've got a slightly better chance. You like to recognise it anyway, that seems fair. So that we've got a better chance of warming things up enough to keep water in here. We've got some printables. I mean, we still might starve, so... But I have got an operator. Oh no, I've got an operator who can't dig, so I don't care about that operator. Coal it is then, because we don't have very much coal. Oh no, I've got shovel legs. Oh right, well we'll just take some shovel legs. I can't really feed them. We can feed them dirt to begin with. No, we'll just take shovel legs. I mean, we can't say no to shovel legs sensibly. They're the only critter that will stay alive at these temperatures. It saves us having to work out how we're going to break into space. Everyone will say that I've played the game on easy mode, but it's, you know, it is just the way it has rolled. But we will take some shovel eggs. Right, we also have some skills to dole out. Oh, this was for Profit, but Profit keeps being quite stressed out. So we were holding on to that. But what we do now need Profit to do is what we hired them to do, which is some actual ranching. Let's have a look at where we can build. Yeah, absolutely. Spoonwood most certainly did not rule out care packages. And indeed, to achieve all of the goals that I was set, care packages are a necessity. Because otherwise I can't get Dreckos and Slicksters. Now, so we were going to make this quite short here, weren't we? I mean, oh, there's Slicksters. I don't have to worry about how big it is. Sorry. Obviously, you know, getting involved in something that doesn't matter. Let's make just a little bit of obsidian. We'll make this into a Slickster ranch. Not Slicksters, shovels. And we're actually going to try and feed them. I've never tried to feed them and not feed them regolith. But we are going to give feeding them a go. This might be tricky. Oh yeah, you can't. Why did you let me build it? Ah, because you were there. Does the decor still work? Yes. So just don't tell me that I'm not supposed to have a corner piece there. I don't think it actually makes any difference, but I think they're pretty. So, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Yeah, I've never tried to actually feed shovels without feeding them regolith. But we're going to give that a go. I'm going to build a nice obsidian box for them to live in. And then we'll work it out from there, essentially. That's my plan. Here's a box. We'll figure it out from there. So we'll get them to do that at some point. What have I built these on? Have I built these on a 5? That's alright then. Hopefully they will actually build that in due course. We just got some voles out of the pod, Dr. Trophonius. So, considering the game wanted to give me an answer to my food problems, I wasn't gonna say no, really. Also, welcome in today. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so the pod just gave us an answer to the food problems, but I've never tried to feed them before, without feeding them like Regulus. We almost passed them for cold. Oh wow, Sushi Cat Yum is raiding with a party of 17. Welcome in, Sushi Cat Yum. It is lovely to see you. It's good to see you. Were you playing Project Zomboid again today? That's definitely what you were playing last time I saw you. I was watching a bit of you just entertainingly drive around and run over zombies. ONI today, how lovely. Well, welcome in to Sushi Cat Yum and to all the raiders. Hello, Danish Nerd. Welcome in today. I'm Max. This is the Max Not Binary. We play a lot of ONI here. Currently, we are involved in a 100k challenge. So this is the this is a mod called the 100k match, which is the temperatures are essentially 100 Kelvin. Oh, I've got the dig tool on. So yes, a minus 174-ish Celsius. It's not quite that cold nearer the base, but it is pretty cold. We have got quite lucky in that we've discovered a couple of very nearby cool steam vents. We're currently attempting to transfer some of that water here. And we've also just taken some shovels that we were offered out the gate. Ooh, Neo. Neo, you're quite stressed. We are having some problems with stress. No, we're not having loads of problems with the heat. We are having some problems with stress though. So we're sort of working on that a little bit. Not very much. I'm mostly ignoring it and hoping it'll go away. But we'll have to keep a bit of an eye on it. Trying to get some water over here. We've got shovels now for food, so we're reasonably set, which is exciting to say. Because certainly that wasn't clear that it was going to happen. Welcome in today, Marie Frontier. It is lovely to see you. You've also joined quite near the beginning of the stream. So this is only the second stream, so you can see, you know, the very basic infrastructure that we set up. Yes, finally a new one, Life of Seal. Sorry, were you bored of Rhyme? Fair enough. No, this is the 100k challenge. I mean, Rhyme did last a long time. We did like 1500 cycles there. So it is fair that some people would wish to carry on and do something new. So one of the reasons that my duplicates are stressed is because we never built them any toilets. Because when they make a mess, it just... where did this come from? Something. You're welcome. Started doing a massive overhaul of the plumbing on your colony. Did you get fed up with it being... Indeed, they do just pee on the floor because it turns straight into ice. And if we built them... if we... Oh, look, all the... How has this happened? Ah, yes, here. This is where it's happened. You, what names? If we built them toilets, they just come out of the toilets covered in germs, which isn't ideal. I'd really like to get this mopped. And well, if it turns into ice, I don't care so much, to be honest. Why has the pump stopped working, though? Oh, because it's right here on the hydro sensor. Therefore, it's confusing the pump. That's fine. Yeah, it turns straight into ice. So we're storing their pee in this, in this box here. But if we can get water flowing, which is one of our things for today, then we are going to build them some toilets. You got fed up with your pipes flowing backwards and added new piping. Excellent, Mavrencia. How are we doing? There we go, that's got that going again. Prophet, as you see, is not having a good day. Many of our duplicants are not having a good day. But, we're trying to make life better for you. I know you don't believe me, but I really am. Slowly and surely attempting to make your life better, duplicants. Have a lovely nap, Sushi Cat Yum. Thank you so much for sharing your community with mine. And I hope to see you again soon. Excellent. So Kaylee here is starting to build our shovel ranch. The Danish nerd is doing some mopping for us, but this is just turning into ice. I'm really excited that they've literally just never bothered to build this bit. You know, they can get there. They can just walk around there. They've just decided it's not that important. The Danish nerd is also not super happy with life at the minute. Nobody's very happy. Nobody's very happy. My mopping will amaze everyone. That's good to hear, Danish. We need some mopping. Alright, let's do this sweeping. Why is the water not coming up here? Oh, it just hasn't made it yet. I do feel the cold. I mean, it's fair. It's pretty chilly in here. Let's get them to sweep out this. So we can remove some sources of cold, because the debris is cold. So if we get them to sweep everything out there, we've got... Danish. Well, at least it's turning straight to ice. That's it. You take it straight into here, and that won't be a problem. I am, however, creating the strongest empire known to man, with a centre on Welsh Vikings. Rhyme again. This is not Rhyme Life of Steel. Hang on, I'll explain now. This is a mod called the 100k Challenge. So, rather than rhyme, this is very, very, very cold. As you see. It's like, hello Prophet, welcome in. This is like 100 Kelvin cold. So, as you say, we've got lucky, but you can see that we're struggling to pipe water over here. Because if there's any interruptions to the flow, it just solidifies again. Which is a little bit of a problem. Not strictly ideal. So we're trying. I am trying to create some thermal mass with some water here so we can start to spread heat a little bit. Oh, something managed to melt some ice. That's pretty good. That should actually help us out quite a lot. Look, even the tepodizer is turned on. They never built this. Can we get on that? Not that it matters. I mean, we don't need to turn it off for a while. But yes, that has created enough water for the tepodizer to turn on. I've never visited Burgundy, so I can't comment on how lovely it would be for a vacation/invasion. I'm sure it's lovely though. I've spent very little time in France, it must be said. I also want you to build this automation wire at a 5 at some point, thanks. But look, we are starting to... Yeah, we're starting to get there. This is what we needed. Just enough water to allow the tepidizer to turn on. Because now our water is 25 degrees. You are stupidly overpowered, Danish. I keep telling you this. Which is just what we needed. Excellent. So we could do some more research. What do we need to research here? Let's have a look. We could... We might want some robo-miners. There are shovels about to hit the map. And shovels could do with some robo-miners. Yes, I looked at your things in Discord. I did comment, but it was just before I went live, so you might not have seen it. Right then, so this is coming along. I think what I would like to do is I'd like to cancel these, and I'd like them just to... because we've got some more ice melting there. I would like a sweep by type order, please. Where is sweep? Sweep. Let's take the ice and snow out of this sweep order, because we're getting somewhere with that. So it would be good to actually leave it. So I would like them to warm this up if it's below, like, let's say 30 degrees. Let's not be greedy. We can even say 20. Let's say 20. I mean, yeah, that'll be fine. So yes, this is now coming along. Have we finished these goddamn pipes yet? No, no. I think this is overpressurized in here, unfortunately. Let's build... I tell you what we'll do. We will build some more temp shift plates. No, regular ice, thanks. So we can try and move some of this steam into water. And that will help it not be so overpressurized. What we might also do is change this into regular tiles so it can leach its heat out into the world a bit more. Now that we have trapped enough heat for it to actually be creating water on a reliable basis. Excellent. Nearly finished this, which is good to see. Then we can move the eggs in here. We can worry about everything else afterwards. With shovels, as long as I have somewhere I can put them, I'll feel a lot happier about it. Okay, wherever that mess was, it doesn't appear to have been in any of our clean water. The stress is coming down a little bit. Actual liquid water, Kaylee, look at it. It's, look, it's 16 degrees. It's not too bad. I mean, it would be handy if someone would ever build this, this automation wire, but you know, as I say, they've got plenty of things to worry about, so let's speed them up a bit and let them get on with stuff. Well, they're mercenaries, Danish. Of course you have to pay them to fight. That is the whole point of being a mercenary. Look at this. This is going very well. We still... No, nobody's doing this yet. So I think this is space, which is going to be... Ah, yes. There it is. The noise of space. So that's definitely space. So that'll... Even if we don't use it for shovels, it'll be useful to know where it is and have a thing built up there. I am definitely going to build them a big fire pole But we'll wait a little bit on that. I mean, this is probably not my preferred water for you to use, but I'll allow it. I might disable this, because I don't want them taking too much mass out of here. I mean, we're less excited about this now, to be honest. Neo. Oh, no wonder you're getting so stressed if you're constantly standing in hydrogen trying to build stuff. Fair enough, I understand. Can we finish this? Also these pipes. What? Why? Why don't people ever want to build these pipes? Are we out of igneous or something? No. It's just people being lazy and refusing to fetch it. I don't know. At some point this ice is going to melt. Oh, well, apparently not that soon. Apparently it's like minus 126 over here. Never mind then. We won't worry too much about that ice melting. Yeah, poor duplicants, they've got too much to do. I always do this. I set them up way too much to do. It's going to take a little while to get the shovels up and running though. I wonder what we're going to do about food in the interim. Oh, we've got this, haven't we? There are still only 5 of you, absolutely. So one of the things we're going to do is we're going to come down here, because this is a nice other sandstone biome, so it should have some muckroot and stuff. Excuse me. Well, I can't feed more than 5 of you, that's the problem. When I can feed you, then we'll have more. What are we going to feed shovels? Let's have a little look. I think I can feed them dirt, but I mean, they eat so much. Regolith, dirt, or iron ore. Well, that's going to be dirt then, isn't it? I mean, to be fair, they're shovels, so as long as we can spin them up a bit, we can then starve them again. Apparently there's a big breeze blowing through my house and it keeps rattling my door, which is moderately annoying. Come on, we need to finish some of these things. The duplicants really like to, or these duplicants are really enjoying leaving everything not quite finished. Oh, there you go, you see. We've reduced the pressure in here because Kaylee's built some temp shift plates. It would be lovely to actually just finish this pipe though, because one of the ways we could reduce the pressure in here is to, why are you sending a red signal? Send a green signal if it's above, probably, let's say 750 kilos in fact. Yeah, one of the other ways we could reduce the pressure in here is actually moving some of the water out. Have you considered that, duplicants? No, they have not. What are you all doing as a point of interest? Oh, you're still doing this. Well, this isn't doing very much, so I don't have to worry too much about the ceramic right now. So we can turn that off. There you go. Don't worry about this job. Where are you off? Neo, what are you fetching? Obsidian? Oh, that'll be fine. Danish? Are you just chatting to yourself there? Apparently so. I mean, this is an important thing to get finished, to be fair, so I'm pretty relaxed about them trying to finish that. I know you have to go down there and... Oh, Emily! Emily! Where ought I be chatting to myself? I mean, they often just socialise by, the dupes often just socialise by standing around by themselves, but you were having a big chat to yourself there. It might be time that Prophet has to have critter ranching too, to be honest. Because we're about to have critters for Prophet to ranch. Ha, end game. Yes, no. No, not actual Danish. Danish, the duplicant, was chatting to themselves. You were chatting to your mop. Fair enough. So we've done some more research. That's fine, Neo. Making a mess while you stand on the ladder is completely acceptable. Why are you people so determined to build this ladder? Have I set it to the wrong priority? No, it's just a 5. I think we're going to set this to a 4 now, though. Because this definitely isn't so important now we got some shovels out the thing. Oh, somebody's made a mess in the goddamn... Stop making a mess in the clean water. We might... Right, it might be time to get them to build this stuff. Let's try and get them to build this stuff. Come here, you lot. Consider building this. Then other things we would like to build are a water sieve. In, out, that's absolutely fine. We'll build one of these for sand. Might as well build it out of granite. Why not? Do you have decor? Did you have decor? You do have decor. Well, let's cancel that then. Water is flowing. It's almost like a normal game now. You've beaten the map. We are still alive, Emily. We're doing okay. We've also got some shovel eggs out of the pod. So we're probably also going to be able to eat. Should we take some hatchling eggs as well? I don't know. Are any of you a good operator? I mean, you're quite a good operator. But I don't really need an operating cook. I could also have this operating cook. This operating cook is better. Because this is a digging operating cook. Yes, take the hatchling eggs. I have shovel eggs, Spoonwood. I have shovel eggs. I think I'm going to take this digging operating cook. I mean, I'm not going to use them for cooking. But I do want an operator. Hang on. I said I was going to get to 6. Hang on a minute, you lot. Who have we got? We've got Neo who digs. We've got Emily who does research. We've got Prophet who ranches. Kaylee is a second digger. And the Danish nerd is an artist. We do need an operator. But then we will also need a cook doctor, ideally. Or at least a cook. We can do without a doctor if necessary. No, I'm definitely taking that operator. They're pretty good. Max is a pretty good operator. Come here, Max. Excavation, machining, early bird, allergies, which we can either treat or ignore as we choose. There you go, Max. We are going to start you off. I'm going to give you a tinkering hat, so I remember what I mean to do with you. Allergies probably won't be relevant for quite a long time anyway. Indeed, Kaylee. I think we're not too worried about that. Lovely. Right, refinement. I'd like to build a gold water sieve. Thank you. I know, you have to dip yourselves in there, which isn't great. Prophet's even more unhappy because we gave them an extra skill. We've got some pips, Spoonwood. I tried to keep some hatches alive here as well, but they didn't want to. Oh my god. Oh no, it's alright. I thought the shovels attached for a minute. Oh, there's shovels up there as well. Okay. It was like 3 shovels. I'm like, oh my god, have they hatched already? That would be bad. Let's put them in here before we forget. Last thing we need is shovels escaping around the place. We have some colony achievements. Is Pip's temperature tolerance higher than Hatch's? Oh, because we've built toilets, of course. No, I don't think so. I think they're exactly the same when I looked at them. I wonder if, because the Hatches can jump more, the Hatch got over here and froze. I don't know where the Hatch died, but because they can jump more, I wonder if they jumped up to the door, which is broken, so maybe Hatches can get through it and, like, escaped. That is my conjecture for why I have Pips still, but not Hatches. Well, not Hatch. We only managed to rescue 1 Hatch. But yeah, I mean, it's a bit of conjecture, but that is a reasonable explanation for what happened there. I mean, it might not be completely right, but seemed reasonable. Right, the thing we'll have to think about reasonably soon is oxygen. So let's go towards suits, I guess. There's no real reason not to go towards suits now. Yeah, I think suits are probably the next thing. We haven't necessarily found a good water source for what's it? Whatever the thing is that I'm thinking of, oxygen. But we do have a bunch of vents or geysers nearby that we haven't yet looked at. We've got these 2 here. I thought I saw another one. Didn't I see another one somewhere? Well, there's one over there in the sea. There's one here. Yeah, there's plenty. You know, a little bit of investigation and we'll find plenty that we need to go and look in. So, we'll carry on doing that. I know, I keep dipping you in the water. It's upsetting. I just want you to get this rubbish out of here for now. Right. This 9 shovel eggs. Thank you. Get them in there right now. Okay, so this is all built. So, not that they've even... Ooh, no, they just won't finish this pipe. They're surprisingly unwilling to ever finish this pipe. Are you coming to finish the pipe, Neo? You are. You're going to do this one too? No, you're going to moan about having soggy feet. Alright, whatever. In. Out. Into there. What is this? Right, I want the bridge. Here? Yes, that'll be fine. And we're gonna sever that there. No, not snapshot. Sever that there. Hang on, did that say these are... No, they are igneous. Alright. Oh, is this bridge sandstone? Liquid bridge. What are you with? No, not sandstone bridge. What a load of nonsense. Right, there we go. So then we're going to have this come under here into potential, what's the word? Hydroponics. And into a we'll put a couple of... Is the bridge even needed? You can just continue the overflow from the sieve input. Yes, I could. You're completely right. However, I'm going to do it this way because I've decided. Which obviously isn't necessarily a good reason for doing it this way, but it's the reason I've got. Frankly, cancel just the buildings. Hang on. So let's put in some hydroponics. Do these have deco? They do. Right, we'll make them out of gold then. How many have we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 is probably fine. We don't need all of these. Where is the... yes, that is the thing that I care about. Can I build this out of Mafic? Do we know about Mafic yet? We do. Lovely. This is going to be the end. So I think I might actually go for just 8 of these. Which should be plenty, to be honest, if we don't have ridiculously high numbers of duplicants. I am actually having to watch them making a mess now in case they do it in any of our water sources. So getting them toilets will be nice. And what we'll have back there is a couple of liquid reservoirs. So you there. Let's cancel all. None of that. Build some pipe. That pipe is going to come up. Well, that's kind of annoying. Actually, I'll have it come along this way. And then it can also spin back round to there. So that if we can refeed this, we do. Oh, good. I just must take every opportunity for smart housing. You're making that hard. Well, I'm not really... We've talked before, I think, about how I feel about backseating. And my general feelings about backseating is you can all backseat as much as you like. And I can ignore you as much as I like, is the answer. So, you know, that's sort of how it works here. Is you're all welcome to tell me things, and sometimes I'll listen to them, and sometimes I'll be like, well, I don't care. And that's how I deal with it. I mean, I guess it might become, and I mean yours, not, but other people's might become annoying. But I haven't found that yet. I just stop responding entirely when people start to become annoying. So, you know, it seems to be working fine. It allows everyone in the channel to be involved and to, you know, give me ideas and that, whilst not forcing me to care. I can understand why it's annoying for some people. It also depends on the game. Like, I have some sympathy with, I watch some more competitive streamers. And one of the things that one of them was saying was they were doing a challenge thing. Like, that would have made a world record, you know, for their game. And they were like, if I achieve this, I want to have achieved this. I don't want chat to have achieved it, you know? Or like a collective of, you know, 3,000 people to have achieved it. I want to do it, so can you be quiet about, you know, advice and stuff? And that made perfect sense to me in those contexts. Happy Friday, Sashamatic. I hope you're well today. But, you know, I don't play anything in that context, and I am not a very competitive person anyway. So, you know, I'm pretty relaxed to play my games with chat. But it definitely, you know, I think it definitely depends on what you're doing and what sort of experience you want with your chat. Which I don't think is unreasonable. But I do find that people who can't cope with, like, some backseating in some contexts a bit weird, but it's very context dependent, I'd say. Filtration medium. Let's put sand in there. Just woke up. Getting my coffee in. I go on vacation on Monday, so I'm trying to quietly hide in the corner today and hope no one finds me. Nom nom. Cookies for you, Marine. We have some shovel eggs to eat. Yeah, I think there is also a difference between different sorts of backseating, you know? That it's one thing to be like, you should do this and do that, and why aren't you doing this? And like a completely different to be like, you're still having breakfast. And completely different to just be like, oh, what about this? Have you thought about this? Especially as long as your chat, which mine always is very responsive to, yeah, I thought about that. I ain't doing it. Or, no, I didn't think about that, but now I'm thinking about it. I'm still not doing it, if you see what I mean. Which I find one of the good things about this chat is that I get to be like that, and chat is pretty relaxed about that. Right, shovels. We'll best chat on Twitch. It's a very good chat so far. We have very few problems in this chat. Most of those problems are dealt with quickly, and you know, also with the support of chat. So yes, it's a very good chat. It's going well. It's going well. Right, this, now that we've got some actual mass in here, we can set it to always put ice in here, also snow. And we can use, you know, the coldness of the map as a thing to help us generate water. What don't you have? You don't have a liquid output. Well, that's inappropriate. Frankly, you could do with a liquid output. So, this is fine. We'll just... Oh, no. Cancel that. We'll just run you a liquid output back this way. It made the noise. Did I print one of those somewhere randomly? No. Okay. So, once they've built that... Oh, we need them to build at least one of these tanks. Yes, you did. Left of the base. Thank you, Kaylee. Let's have a look. Left. Left. Oh. Obviously, that's a place I wanted to build a bridge. I don't think you're going to grow, considering it's like minus 50 here. But in time, it's going to be warmer. Maybe not yet, but in time it's going to be warmer. So, yeah, we want to do some sweeping. We want to clear some cold debris out of here, but leave the ice. Yes, if I want to see my playstyle. Plants have died. I've never had that. I've never had this warning before. I mean, I'm not really surprised that they died, all things considered. But has anyone seen that warning before? I think it might be a harmonizing with the DLC warning. But that's quite cool, because actually I have sometimes wondered, you've seen that one before. Oh, maybe it's because it's in a farm tile. I wonder if it would occur if I had put it in a pot. Because you know we were talking about how sometimes they pop out of the pots. The warning was, plants have died. Ooh, we can get Danish to sculpt the ice sculptures. Yeah, we got a red warning saying plants have died. Let's allow Danish to do decorating now. Because Danish has the red hat. Oh look, we've got the stress down loads. How warm is it around here? Not super warm, but equally... Your sculpting arm will amaze everyone. I hope so, Danish. The red hat is amazing. Why does it always say mediocre? Is this just a thing with ice sculptures? You just peed on the sculpture. What if the plants were murdered? Well, I'd hope I would have a warning if someone was murdering my plants, to be honest. Is this a bug? That it says it's a mediocre ice sculpture and only quaint when I have a master artist. Like, it's only giving... making it a sculpture has only added +10. It's got to be a bug, right? Oh, we've learned how to do suits. Is there actually anything else that I desperately want right now? What, Emily? That doesn't make it... Oh, right. Murdering the plants. I thought that was why they were a bad artist. I was like, what? But no, that makes way more sense now I realise that you're talking about the whole murdering the plants problem. It does seem inconsistent, Spoonwood. I agree. Do we want to build any of these yet? I'm not sure we do. According to the wiki, you can't have genius ice sculptures. It seems silly. I agree. Okay, well, sad times. I think it's time to put some water in these toilets. I'd like you to build one of these. Let me put the priority up on one of these. Although they also need to build the bridges. They'll get there. We have got water coming. What was going on there? Overheat damage. Oh, that's still the door. Yeah, we don't care about the door. I got a Tiltrova hovercraft to stay stable at 45 degrees pitch. I mean, I have literal no idea what that means, but well done, Dr. Trophonius. I am glad that you have achieved something that makes you happy. Because no duplicant has done genius level work if they do on something that might melt, because the art could be temporary. I am glad you have won your Germanic Holy War for Aquitaine as well, Danish. Does seem a bit much, but never mind. I don't think I want to take any of these. Also, none of them are a cook, which is mostly what I want right now. So we'll take some joyous seeds. They might be useful seeds, actually, because we'll be able to plant them reasonably easily. Yeah, this is my storage right now. Right. This is going to be about as much water as we're going to get for a bit. You're not overpressurizing? No, you're okay. Come on, just finish these pipes and then you can have toilets. It'll make you really happy. It'll also stop you peeing in my water sources, which will make me happy. So, just some pipes to build. And then, after we've built some pipes... I mean, they can continue doing that. Oh, I thought I saw a geyser right up there. What we're going to do after we've finished building these pipes and got the water going is someone is going to build this, maybe? Can we please build this automation wire? Oh, there we go. Let me set it to a 5, then someone might build it. Is you still active? You are, but not for that much longer. After that, we are going to Ooh, the first thing we're probably going to do is come down here and try and get some food. And then, thank you. So, yeah, it's 21 degrees in here, look. Well, on that, apparently. Which is not too bad. What we're going to do, apart from getting some food, there's also Hexlant in there, is examine these and start boxing in this base a bit more. Any intermediate plans for the volcano? We've been making quite early ceramic because I wanted to use the kiln and we don't have loads of coal. So it was better to make than refined carbon. So what we might do in the fairly near future is just build a box for it to fill with lava. Yeah, we might build a box for it to fill with magma and then worry about what we do with that magma a bit later on. Ah, Emily. Well, I think it was you. Might have been the Danish nerd. You are both here. Unacceptable behaviour. Right. It's time to run a little bit of this water into here. I'm sorry, it was the excitement of the Oh, of course that is happening. Right, don't do the ice for a minute. Sweep only. We need to prevent them getting down here to ice dispenser loop. Yes, Spoonwood. Danish, it might have been you. I would like to point out. It's entirely possible that it was in fact you. I think we'll give Emily the exosuit training rather than the astronomy. Kaylee is going to get some carrying so that we can move a little bit quicker rather than worry about super high level stuff that we can't do yet anyway. Oh no, it was probably Emily then, because apparently now the Danish is taking the opportunity to pee on everybody's head. Of course, I still have to do the trigonometry to have it point at the target automatically, but that should be fairly straightforward. I do not believe in my bathroom setup. I mean, it might not work, to be fair. It's hard. It is not hard, Danish. We're going to give it a go. I suppose it is going to sit in the pipes for a bit, which could be a problem. Yeah, the sitting in the pipes could be an issue. We've got some ceramic. So how much is the temperature in the pipes changing? Let's have a look. Where? Find me the thing. Liquid pipes. Not super fast, I would say. Dropping, but not incredibly quickly. But that is going to be a problem, because if we loop it, we don't have any way to add more heat. Which is going to be a thing. Which we might have to consider. Let's deconstruct this. What do you... Oh, food shortage. Yes. Ah! I hate you, Mod. I hate you for doing this every time. Deconstruct. Right. Let's we'll worry about that in a minute when the pipes explode, which I completely accept is a reasonable possibility there. What have I got plenty of? Granite. That's fine then. Let's use granite. Come down into this and start digging for potential food. Because we need some. We should keep an eye on it in case we also find hatches. But yes, this might explode at some point. But you know. What do you mean the liquid bridge doesn't have an output? Oh, they've never built this. Can we build this? You love the new base. Well, there are some problems with it, Sashomatic, but hopefully things are gonna sort themselves out slowly. Come on, you lot. We need to get some food. Oh, they're not going to enjoy doing that because they're not going to have enough. Let's give them a little bit of extra digging to do. And that should allow a couple more of them to work on it simultaneously. I mean, the thing is, this is going to be coming out at like pea temperature, which means that the water coming through here is going to be pea temperature. So we might be able to keep it okay. This might explode. Shovels, right. When we have shovels, we're going to want to be able to feed them on some stuff. Well, let's worry about actually not starving before we worry about that. Though I do have a microbe musher somewhere that I built, so I could theoretically, since we do have a tiny bit of water, build some mush bars. Not that they're a very good water source, food source, but you know. Needs must, as the devil drives. Today in random British expressions. I don't even know where that one comes from. Let's have a dig through here. Have we found any muckroot yet? No. Try harder. We're dropping all the carbon dioxide down here. Well, it should solidify and get out of the way shortly. Do we need some more oxygen production? No, we should be fine. We should be fine. Come on, you lot. Find us some... I should have built it out of sandstone, really. Let's build the rest out of sandstone. Since we're literally in a sandstone biome. Ooh, more heat. There's a natural gas geyser here, which will also provide us with some power, potentially. Which could be nice. Yeah, natural gas down here. It's still important that we manage not to starve at this point. Duplicants. We've got some power here. Why don't we use that power to add in a... I think it is along the same lines as necessity is the mother of invention. It certainly means the same. It means a similar thing, absolutely. Has a considerably more... Is the ice biome... Yeah, it's just regular 100k temperatures. Rather than being even colder. For whatever reason. This ice biome's quite big. Thank you for the follow, Hilwyn. Welcome in, and I hope you're having a lovely day here with us today. Okay, so we just need to be careful of that. I'm also reading that the output polluted water of a natural gas generator has a minimal output temperature of 40 degrees C. That is good, but we're not going to have... The problem with natural gas is that these don't produce very much, unfortunately. But certainly, we probably want to tap into them for a bit of power. I'd also really like... Right, we're out of food, people. Have we not found any muckroot down here yet? No? That is a problem. We might have to... Where are you? Get over there. As I say, one of my playthroughs, there's always the possibility that we're gonna starve. If anyone starts starving, we might try and make some mush bars. I can't even make mush fry because nobody is a cook. The other thing we could do is, oh, apparently the pips died at some point. They also got too hot. Can we mop this? Are you overpressurizing? No, you're doing fine. Oh, hang on. There's a bunch of mank there. Can we deal with that mank? There are 3 wild shovels somewhere. They are in space. There's one. The game is letting me know that there are some in space. Our ones, which will also be wild when they hatch, have not yet hatched. How soon are they going to hatch? Not for quite a long time. Apparently at some point the pips died and we ate them. I don't know when that was, but pips died, we ate them. Fairly standard procedures. This is going very nicely. We found a tiny bit of muckroot. Obsidian. It's not the best insulator, however, this is going to be the back wall of the base, so rather than worrying about it, I just built some obsidian insulation here. Neo has a skill point. We'll make Neo have a bit of extra strength as well. What's up with you? Oh, it's because they're not going in the Great Hall, are they? Because they don't have anything to eat. Well, we're working on that. Oh, look, there's more Hexlant here. Which will be handy. I know, everyone hates mopping. Don't know why the duplicants are quite so angry about mopping all the time. They really hate mopping. Excellent. Right. So that's yeah. Yeah, that happens a lot in even on Rime, you see that happen. And probably on the hot maps as well. I didn't notice so much when we played the hot maps, but it is probably true. I don't think we're going to bother digging out all of that. What we're going to do is we're going to cancel these. And we're just going to build a little ladder down here. Let's build a nice sandstone ladder, that'll be fine. Amazing. We can dig in here, get those. Let's cancel that. And we can dig in there. Can we reach that? Oh, we can reach that tile to dig it out, so that will make it fall down. Can you set it to build a regular tile over an insulated tile? I believe that you can. Yes. Yes. Cancel. Right, printables. Not giving me any food. I'd like some food. I don't want this narcoleptic cook. I want some coal. In that case... Oh. Is that a pipe? Doesn't seem like it should be a pipe. What has the... Is it this pipe here? Suppress current. Yes, this pipe here somehow got a bit damaged. Which seems an odd one to get damaged, because water doesn't really sit in this pipe here. So that's a bit weird, but sure. Yeah, that's getting a bit cold. Wonder if we need to build a space heater or something in here. We might do. So there's that there. Well, we've got a bit of food. The steam needs to condense at the top of the box while you want to warm the water at the bottom of the box. Correct. Absolutely. Yes, Spoonwood. Are you considering that we should replace these with regular tiles? That might not be a terrible plan, actually, now. We could just replace them with some nice... Do we want slow heating? We probably don't, do we? Might even want some sedimentary rock. And let the heat out into the world. I'm not sure now that you want the duplicants to do that now with this food crisis. Ah, they'll be fine. They'll be fine. I don't know what they are doing. Oh good, they're making some oxygen here, that's nice. Oh, they're doing a bunch of mopping. Actually, don't bother with the mopping right now, cheers. You can leave that. Let's have a little dig down here. Oh, this goes... Ah, there, Emily. I thought I had caught all of those, but let's have a look. Ah, yes, here. I see. Let's have a dig in here, then. I'll enjoy that. This they can replace with... I'd actually like to build this of Maffic. Can I have plenty of Maffic in due course? So that they can replace with a Maffic tile. Hello, Pitter. It's going okay. We're obviously vaguely on the verge of starving, which is pretty much to be expected. But we have some reasonable chances of survival. Now, are any of these actually in our biome? I think that one is. You have to judge by the colour, but it's not always entirely straightforward. So yes, if you'd like to dig this stuff out, we might get something. How about in this level? Nope, nothing there. This one? No. I think I did all the floors last time we had a food crisis. I hope you're well today, Pitter, and that you're having a lovely Friday. Welcome back. Any more up here? There's some here. Don't know if that's going to be our biome or the rust biome, though. Might give it a go. Just to sort of oh, yeah, that's fine. We can loosen that one. We'll just build some ladders there. Just listening to your next door neighbours hit your wall and hear their baby crying. All good. Oh, I love those sorts of next door neighbours. They are a joy. What is this priority on? I'd quite like them to come over here and do this. But you know. Ooh, a hatch. Wrangle this hatch immediately. Where can we put it? Where it won't immediately die. Because, like, we tried putting it here, and it got boiled. Or we could just murder it, to be fair, and wait till we get some out of the, things. We have shovels now. Maybe we should just murder it. I could do with the coal, though. What do you think, chat? Should we have life for the, we could live in here, actually. Life for the hatch or death for the hatch? How are we feeling? Yeah, it can, oh, but it can dig there, can't it? It's not strictly what I want, because then it'll be off all over the place. Well, it won't. It'll just live down here. Should be fine. Because they don't really burrow through things. They're not shovels. Life or death for the hatch, chat. I mean, it might die before we get an option to pick, but... Oh, there's some muckroot. Don't you dare eat it, hatchling. Or then you're becoming dinner. If you eat that muckroot, you are immediately getting eaten. Just so we're clear. Oh, it's unreachable. Well, it'll be reachable again in a bit. You might die then before we get the opportunity to do anything about it. Where's Prophet? Is this oh, here's Prophet. Let's turn this one off. Because that wasn't going very well. I don't really know what it is, but death and destruction for all. Fair enough. Death for the hatch. Too close to death by starvation. Dr. Trophonius is like, we aren't starving yet. Kaylee wants to keep it. I mean, mostly everyone wants to murder it. We'll see. If we can keep it, we'll keep it. If it dies, we'll eat it. Oh. Max found some meat somewhere. I don't know where Max found that. Maybe there was another hatch down here that they found. I mean, they have to build this, and I'm not going to rush them with it, so if the hatch dies, the hatch dies. But there you go, people are eating. There's also some forest biome over here where there might be more hexlant. So that would be nice. We'll see how everyone gets on. What you up to, Neo? Ah. This is not Neo, this is Prophet. We're getting ready for a tropical storm here in Florida. It should be interesting. I mean, by interesting, do you mean potentially life-threatening, Peter? Yes, yes, fair enough. I mean, that's also the way that I use interesting. We had a whole thing where I kept claiming that things in game were exciting when what they were terrifying. And chat called me out on that. That perhaps I had a slightly weird sense of what might be considered exciting. I mean, this hatch is surviving reasonably well, considering it's trussed upside down. Oh, now it's no longer wrangled. Well, we'll wait till we can actually get to it before we bother trying to wrangle it again. O'Kaylee might be fixing that for us, actually. Look at this. 11,000 calories. It seems that when you take over one of the most important kingdoms in Europe, people begin to hate you and be scared of you. I mean, again, trying my hardest to rescue the critter. Have we built this? We haven't built this. So we'll wrangle it, but we haven't yet built the drop-off. Ah, muckroot. Well done. But look, we're doing okay. We've got a couple of days' food. We've still got this Hexlant to dig into, which is going to be loads of food. They've still got quite a bit of digging to do down here, which will be quite a bit of food as well. So we're getting there. Getting there. My pipes are struggling, but not dying. Critters are friends. Is how I'd put it. Oh yeah, they don't like it when... Oh, because the water coming out of the sinks. That's why the sinks are getting damaged. Because this isn't pee temperature. This is just like regular water temperature. That's why. That's why these output pipes are suffering. Whereas these aren't suffering so much. Oh, that's a thing we need to do. And I haven't allowed space for. Nuts. Is to deal with the polluted is to deal with the polluted oxygen. We'll worry about that later. I really enjoyed The Prince when I read it, Spoonwood. I mean, I was 17, so I was probably at the perfect age to read The Prince, you know. Megalomaniac teenagers that we all are. But I did really enjoy The Prince. It was very readable and quite good. Right, it's still better to be feared, Danish. Because then nobody is going to try and take your holdings. How are you doing? This hatch is quite... how's your body temperature, hatch? Let's have a look. Oh. Well, you've still got like 30 degrees to go before you die, so we might get there. But yes, I haven't left any room to deal with this polluted oxygen, which is a bit annoying. If you're loved, people will pay your taxes and won't make pacts to destroy you. You definitely appear to be way too nice to be playing CK2. Now we're getting on down here. We still have some food. Nobody wants to build this. Okay. I mean, I can't progress very quickly. This is always the problem with these difficult maps, is they're a little bit grindy. Because you always have these sorts of things to, oh, Hatch is dead, I assume. Do we have some meat? No. Oh, did it just escape and bury itself somewhere? Oh, I have 2 hatches. Hang on, there are 2 wild hatches. Wrangle. Oh. No, now there's 1 wild hatch, apparently. That one maybe died. But this one is still wrangleable. It's harder to exploit fear in CK2. I mean, that's fair, because the CK3 dread mechanic is super overpowered. Well, that was interesting. Hatch. Right, there you go. So we do have 2 hatches. Weather will be... if they bury underground... Bug, Spoonwood. If they bury underground, you don't have to worry about it too much when they're wild. But the way you stop that is you just build a floor. Hatches can't bury themselves in floors. Like, it doesn't matter what you build the floor of. As long as you have a tile floor and not natural tiles, the hatch won't be able to dig through it. And no worries at all. But yeah, so for hatches, there's quite an easy one. Maybe hatches can't bury themselves in abyssalite. That might be true. That might well be true, Spoonwood. I've never noticed, but that doesn't mean that it's not true. Right, I think we've tried quite hard with these hatches, so let's see if we can get this drop-off built. And they can bury themselves under here, but it should be warm enough to keep themselves alive. Come on, Neo. Very well done. Let's make that. We will put hatches at a 9 in here. And they shouldn't be able to drown as well, because we've got this hydro sensor to pump the water out before they can drown. So if we're lucky, we'll be able to keep a couple of hatches alive down here. There you go. 2 hatches. How is your body temperature, hatches? What happened? Did they bury? Yes, they just buried themselves. That's fine. This one's temperature, body temperature is going up now. What about the other one? Yeah, their body temperatures are going up. So hopefully they will be okay for a little while in there, and we can rescue them out when we've managed to add a bit more warming to our base. Speaking of warming, I wonder if we should actually just make a cooling loop with this cool slush to warm our base with. I mean, we could also make it with this now. We could put a pump in here. Right, hang on. What have we got? I don't want any of you. Let's take a briar seed. A cooling loop to warm things. Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, the cool slush comes out at like -10, right? But that's a lot warmer than what it is in here. So it would warm things. But what we could also do, actually, is we could make... we could consider making one... Nah, this doesn't have the... wouldn't have the thermal capacity in the pipes. 260k. 160k improvement. Absolutely, Dr. Trophonius. But yes, I don't actually think it would work. Because I think the transfer between the temperature and the coolant... Now I think about it, I think the transfer between the temperature and the coolant would be too extreme. And it would just smash all the pipes and not... It's just confusingly described. It would be a cool slush geyser heating room. Well, that's why I did this. But I don't think it'll work because I think the temperature here is still too extreme. We'll get there, like, because look, this is slowly producing heat. I think one of the things we need to do, unpacking it would add thermal mass to your base. That is true. You are still, Prophet has a skill point. Do we want to give Prophet their skill point? Yeah, you can have your skill point. That'll be fine. Yeah, I think what we need to do is get it boxed in. Once we get it boxed in, then we'll start holding the heat inside better. We might well leave bits open, like we might leave it open down there and stuff like that. But once we can get the thing, yeah, it would be polluted water rather than water, so that would probably add a bit of thermal mass. But let's continue down here on our search for some food, because we're still a bit short. Wow, I cannot draw a straight line to save my life. Or indeed to save the duplicants' lives. Let's... What's this? This is rust. Did we get over here yet? No? Alright. Well, we'll wait a little bit then. What is broken? Okay. Let's deconstruct that pipe then and we'll rebuild it. This is important. Come and do this, duplicants. We're going to have to spend quite a bit of time doing this to begin with. Let's have a look. We still have those hatches. They haven't died yet. Thank you. This is also important, so I want you to do it. Because the longer stuff sits in the pipes, the worse it's going to get for everyone. For now, can I build a thing there to help us deal with the... I mean, that's less important, to be fair. Obviously, you're coming to do this rather than coming to do this. What is people's problem? But yes, I think once we get a little bit more food, which is going to be, I think once we get these hexlants, we might start having a look at what these are. See if we can get some more heat. Cute. Lovely, right. That's it, Kaylee. Oh, you're popped eardrums over here. Oh, well, these often have reasonably high pressure oxygen, don't they? How is our gas map doing? Mostly clean. Some rubbish. But on the whole, pretty clean. This is helping as well. We are getting some come this way. We can do... we'll do one thing, which was put one out this side. And our hatches are living down there, which is absolutely fine. Hatches, you have fun. Got quite a big biome down here. There's even some actual muckroot growing, and there's more forest here. So that's another food source potentially in there, while we wait for our shovels to come online. Excellent. They've got this hexlant available now. There's 2 more there. There's a bunch of dead arbor acorns. But I can't see any more hexlant to begin with. What is broken now? We've lost another pipe. I have got the Spaced Out DLC. Life of Steel. We are going to be doing Spaced Out after this challenge. Is the answer to that. After this challenge, we're going to do some Spaced Out. Oh, this one too. That's fine. Let's deconstruct these. We'll put these pipes at a 6. Exciting. I don't know why I don't have the merged update things. I think possibly I tried to... There was an update that the game tried to do just after it auto-downloaded Spaced Out for me. You know why? What is the answer? Why are you asking if you know the answer? Just tell me the answer, Wife of Steel. You should restart... Oh, you should start the Spaced Out one time and you will get it. That's fair. I didn't want it to have them while we were in the middle of the Rhine playthrough, but I would have been absolutely fine for us to have the update things for this playthrough. As I say, I just I didn't let it do the update when it first loaded because I didn't want it to interrupt the middle of the Rhine playthrough. And now that we haven't done it, it'll be fine. But yeah, we'll go and play Spaced Out after we've done this anyway. And then, obviously after that, it will be all merge update-tastic. Right, so we've got less food than I imagined from all that hexen. Oh, they still haven't broken in here, that's why. They still haven't broken in here, which I would like them to do. If they could get on with that, that would be a joy. But their stress is a lot less now we built them toilets. Even if we have to do quite a bit of maintenance on this toilet, on these toilets, we have at least got some improvements in the terms of how much stress they have got. This is going to be massive. But yes, you might well be right as to why the things didn't start Life of Steel, why the merged updates didn't happen. Is this broken again? From what I've read, the UI improvements were... It's all coming. So, Emily, so what they said was it's all coming to the base game. Like, not obviously the DLC specific content, but like all the more general changes. But they said that it would come for Spaced Out owners immediately, and for the rest of the base game users. The new resource screen is really good. It looks good. I have seen that. It would come for the rest of the base game users in a little bit. Yeah, this is becoming tricky to maintain, so we definitely want to start boxing in. I mean, I haven't seen anything on the UI that I didn't like, but obviously I've only sort of seen it through other people. Ah, there you go, Peter. NVIDIA G-Sync drivers. Can be a pain. Right. Gonna build some of these. Have we built these on a 5? Oh no. Look, priorities. Don't want you building this stuff on a 6. This doesn't need to be a 6. This is all a 5. We don't care about this stuff. Go and dig. Let's make this a 6. Go and dig for some food, duplicants. If only the non-pinned resource list wasn't so incredibly slow and sluggish. Fair enough. I have seen the DLC does seem laggy from what I have seen. I mean, I can't comment whether that's always true, but yes, my experience so far from watching other people use it is that is that it does seem laggy. Do, 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 do. Ay vey. Right, deconstruct this. And rebuild. Lovely. Are we over here? We are over here doing the thing. Well done, Kaylee. As ever, out doing the important things. Can't select asteroid types yet, and I don't like it. So I played base game 2 with the merge update. Fair enough. I really hope the lag is related to the debug build and it will improve with the regular release or get optimized. I hope so too, because it seems significantly worse than the base game. And that's not super ideal. What is our priority down here? These are 5. Good. Good, 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 good. Oh, Max. Oh, Max. Do you know what we never did for Max? Anything is the answer to that. We never set them priorities. Operating, building, digging, not farming, ranching. Thank you. We never set them a schedule. We just basically ignored them. Sorry, Max. My apologies to you for generally not paying any attention to your existence. Because I was thinking about whether we'd starve at the time. Right, someone coming to do this? Come on. Neo, here you come. Wow, they're still so slow. Oh, we don't have any calories again, so it would be excellent if you could get in here, Neo. I bought RimWorld. We'll try it also. I love RimWorld. Did you just buy the base game? The base game was on sale recently, like, which it almost never is. Or did you buy Royalty 2? Because I have to admit that I have struggled a bit with Royalty, the DLC, just by the base game. I love the base game. But yes, I'll definitely admit that I've struggled a little bit with the DLC. How far have you gotten in RimWorld in terms of endgame? I have launched the ship. Yeah, I've launched the ship, Pitter. Lag is related to a good extent to the number of pathing calculations. Where does this duplicate go next? Or where does this critter go next? It certainly is in the base game. I have mixed opinions on Royalty, though I must admit I haven't played too much of it. I just find it really difficult. I just find it incredibly challenging. We did a little bit of it on stream, and we'll probably do it on stream again, because I do love RimWorld. But we might also do some just vanilla RimWorld. Well, no one plays vanilla RimWorld, you know, but just some non-DLC RimWorld. Because I cannot get my head around the mech clusters at all. I really like the quest thing. That's really cool. I like it very much. The psi powers I'm a bit whatever about. Right, we need to find some more food. And I'm not really seeing any food over here, which is slightly disappointing. I was hoping we'd see some more Hexland once we got over here. But I do not. So maybe down here is the place to be doing our expanding now. Trying to see if we can find some more muckroot. I have Prison Architect. I cannot get into it. It seems like a game I would really love. And then every time I play it, I kind of hate it. Can I make a stable heat source? I mean, currently our stable heat source is our big pool of water here. with our tepidizer in it. Frankly. This is currently our heat source, so, you know. Maybe this shouldn't be, oh, well, it's too late now. It's going to be a pain in the backside. But yeah, this is currently our heat source. Let me go quest for food. Maybe back later. Have a lovely rest of your day, Dr. Trophonius, if we don't see you. I assume you'll be watching the football later. So have fun with that as well. I tell you what we will do, though, is we will get them to build... What is the rock in here? It's igneous, right? We'll get them to build igneous ladders then. We'll get them to come down to this. So that we'll see a little bit more of this forest biome in case there's more hexlant. But additionally, we'll get to dig out another geyser. So, you know. That way we do a little bit of double duty with our digging here. What have we got in the pod? This is not food. None of this is food. Our cook is flatulent, so we're definitely not having that. So we don't want any of this. I mean, we could take shine nymphs, but, like, what is the point? We don't even, get meat or eggs or anything out of them, really, so we'll just reject everything there. None of you are any use to me. Sad times. I thought about getting Prison Architect, but I can't get behind a game that supports a system that usually doesn't care about rehabilitation. At least that's how it is in the States. Yeah. I got it on the basis that it's just an... Ooh, look, excellent. That it's just another base builder. Just a slightly different sort of base. But I haven't been able to get into it. But I don't, you know, I don't necessarily think that's necessarily to do with my problems with the prison system. Eggshells? I mean, that's true. That's true. They also like to hang out near bedrooms, though. Which I think is a non-trivial problem with them. Oh, more hexlant. Look at this, more hexlant. You there. More hexlant. And... you're not going to be able to get in through that. Oh, rats. Cancel. You should be able to... Yeah, they should be able to bounce down there. If we... Cancel that. I also saw some comment on Reddit. There is some number of shine nymph eggs which can provide sufficient material to make an omelette. That is true, but I think it's like 10 or something. Yeah, it does have a second chance. But that is new, that DLC. Yeah, I remember it seeming big. I think I took some to make omelettes on one of the other playthroughs when we were struggling for food. And then I was like, oh, this has not achieved what I was hoping. Let's deconstruct these liquid pipes and rebuild them. Oh, that's a problem. We keep losing the water out of this loop. Well, that's fine. We'll just, as we lose water out of this loop, we'll just restore it from this. Which is not a problem. Right, these ones are 6 as ever, because these are important things for us to fix. Thank you. So, right, we also want to dig that up. We want to make sure that they know I intend to dig that up when I get there. So we've got a few little sources of food that we're going for. We should also do this level because we literally know that this one has a muck root on it. Because we can see it. So we have a little bit of food that we're going through for down here. I can't even see any cracks actually further down, so it might not be worth digging in this bit. And that's a crack in slime. I don't know whether... this one's broken again. This is not a good one to break all the time. Right, you there. I don't want any messes. So, let's get on this. I can't remember what I was saying. Oh, I don't know whether the buried object is defined by what it is in. So whether, because it's slime, it would be in something from a slime biome, or whether it's defined by which biome it is spawned in. So because this is a sandstone biome, will that be a sandstone object? I don't know if anyone knows, but yeah. That is definitely a question I have. How are we doing? We're getting some water in here. Lovely. You can also get rebuilt, so people can go to the bathroom. It would appear that I did that just in time by the look on people's faces. They seem quite excited to be able to go to the bathroom again. And we might have to leave that for a little bit, because these need to reach setting off the hydro pump things, which they're both going to do in due course. How are we getting on here? We're not really bothering with this. We'll get to it in the end, I guess. I mean, there is a problem that our ice sculptures will melt if we manage to heat up our base, but, you know, that is a problem I'm prepared to deal with. How are you doing? 77. Starvation? Nobody should be starving. Oh, you're probably having to run way too far now. Let's have a look at our schedule. It is definitely time for the duplicants to get an extra downtime slot. They're having to run way, way too far away. I see you, Kaylee, trying to sneak to there. So yeah, they should definitely all get an extra downtime slot to help them get back and eat in time. Excellent. So this will keep this going for a little bit. Oh, this one's broken again. Please deconstruct this. Yeah, the sinks are much more of a problem. It's interesting. The toilet outputs, because the inside of duplicants is warm, therefore their pee is warm, like humans. Here, the toilets are considerably less of a problem than the sinks. Let's shut that off for a minute so we can use some of this. Is that a suggestion that we use hand sanitizers again, Spoonwood? Was it you who was advocating for hand sanitizers? I mean, we could use hand sanitizers. Yes, it was you who was advocating for that. We might do. We might do. Okay, so, you know, stuff is going okay. When I started using them, I was just thinking about conserving water without houses. That's fair. Oh no, we don't want these on a 6. These can be on a 5, thanks. But this is another reason to use them, absolutely. We don't have enough mafic. Oh well, that's fine. We'll get enough mafic. There's plenty of rust biomes to go digging into. And the reason I'm using mafic for this box is because if we use mafic for this bit, we'll have more igneous left to do pipes and stuff like that, since you can't make mafic pipes. Yeah, they're not eating often enough. I mean, they should be eating often enough. We have some food right now. We'd like them to dig this bit out, thanks. How is your partner doing on their business trip? They are fine, thank you, Peter. I spoke to them yesterday. They were mostly interested in whether I had watered the allotment, which I did, which was manky. My allotment is full of slugs, which I do not like. They're also eating our crops, which I also don't like. So all in all, I am against having to go to the allotment, but there you go. But no, they're doing fine. This is like, I think like the 4th time they've done this trip in the last year. So that'll be fine. They're also, their sister is coming tomorrow to visit them because it's Europe. So, you know, you can travel around it. And actually it's not so far from where they're from. So their sister is coming this weekend, and also at the end of this, like the first 2 weeks they're working, but the last week they're on holiday actually with their family. So, well, they're going to visit their family. So it's not so bad this time. Not so bad for them this time. They also haven't had to do quarantine because we got our jabs and everything, which they've enjoyed very much because I think I've talked about before that they are ADHD, like very severely. Like severely enough that even though we're in our 40s, they were diagnosed as a child, you know, which is not the sort of thing that happened when we were children. I mean, I'm just doing this for fun, really. I just can't help myself setting up dig commands. It's like a sickness. So yes, they complained a lot about both lockdown and quarantine. Oh look, it's the oil biome. It's cold. It's cold. Oil biome's cold. Oh, well, that should be cool. We can go in and get lead then. If it's cold. How exciting. We can just go and get lead. I mean, we might have a problem, like, making any oil, but we could just go down here and get lead. Ooh. Frozen crude oil. Yeah. You get frozen crude on Rime, Neo. So it only needs to be about minus 50 in Celsius to get frozen crude. So not too hard to get frozen crude. We had a little patch, if you remember, right up in this top corner of the map, underneath where the rocket was, where we had that oil biome. There was a little patch that remained frozen pretty much all game, because we weren't really providing any heat to that bit. Right, what are we going to do about food? So yeah, lockdown and quarantining is very hard for partner. So the possibility of no longer having to quarantine anywhere because we are fully jabbed, and you know, just being able to do a little bit more travel so they can see their family and stuff like that is makes this travel a lot nicer for them. But thank you for asking, Peter. That's really nice. Okay, my door's driving me around the twist. Is it that windy out there? No. It's just that this door is rubbish. Yes, so we'll put the priority up on a couple of digs there to go and get some more food. Because Hexland obviously is such a good food source. We'll encourage them to come over here. They found a couple of muckroot while they were at it as well, which is nice. But yes, I'm quite excited by the idea that we can like go down and get lead. That's going to make industry and stuff quite a lot easier. Also electrolyzers, if we can find a water source, which makes me more excited to come and tap into stuff. So I want them to do this one. Did I make this a 6 as well? Let's do the food first. Then we're going to make this one a 6 so they can come down and have a look in here. And then we're going to come down and look at these two. And then there's a bunch of other ones we can look at as well if none of those give us water. We're not making enough oxygen down here. I've got a thing. Oh, the oxygen isn't flowing down well enough. But it is oxygenated in here, so I mean, it should help them. Also, if you break through here, you're gonna get to a nice pool of oxygen as well. Can we see? Have we revealed any more hexlant from this? Wow. Oh, there's another one here. That's cool. Right. So this is also going to be on a 6 as we dig just through here. And then dig that out. Thank you. Excellent. Good. Oh, look, there's another geyser here as well. So that'll help too. So I think when they build this ladder, they can jump down here. I don't think they can jump down until they build this ladder piece. But once they build that ladder piece, I think they should be able to jump down there. Excellent. That's cool. I love cold maps. I mean, obviously we were quite lucky. I would like to reiterate, very lucky with this map, with these two cool steam vents. Oh, this one's gone dormant. But it's still warm enough in here for our hatches. We might have to keep an eye on them, because if this is dormant, we won't be getting any extra heat in here. So we might have to keep an eye on the hatches to check they don't die. Printables. Take some Drecko eggs. I do have to set up a Drecko ranch. I don't think I'm anywhere near ready to do that. But, I mean, if nothing else, we can eat them. So, we'll take some Drecklets. I don't know where I'm going to put them to try and keep them alive. Or even whether I'm going to try that hard. Or there's more sandstone over here as well. So that's pretty cool. Like, literally just this ladder piece. Just do that ladder piece and then you can get to this hexlant. Wow. Yeah. I love cold maps. I really love cold maps. Hello, Squeakers. It's good to see you again. I hope you're well today. I am enjoying my 100k challenge. This is the 100k challenge, Squeakers. It's cold. It's very cold. Cold, 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 cold. Just finished work. Weekend for you. Ooh, what's this? Oh, just some random warmth in abyssalite. That's fine then. But yes, it's very cold. Who made a mess? Neo? Why are you making a mess? What's up with the toilets? Oh, we don't have any water again. Why don't we have any water? Oh, because I never connected the goddamn thing. Right. Sorry. There we go. My apologies, duplicants. There you go. I know. The sinks are definitely a problem. Are we starting to keep any heat in here? Not really, to be honest. It's definitely a bit chilly. Look, even above... So this water is 30 degrees C. Like, literally directly above it, it's still minus 50, pretty much. So we're definitely having a problem keeping some heat in the base. But we do at least have these hot water sources, which have been helping us out massively. We are struggling a little bit with food, but we're coping. We're coping. That's it. You lot get across here. Get that hexlant out. Right, that's it for this forest biome in terms of hexlant. Oh, there's another one down there, so we're definitely gonna... Right. What did I say this was? This is igneous, isn't it? We're definitely going to use an igneous ladder to come down, like, over here. Should we just come down over here? Yeah, let's just do that. And we'll meet that up there. Hello, Sushi Cat Yum. Thank you. Welcome back in. Thank you again for the raid. I hope you had a lovely nap. I often struggle with food. Spaghetti is always a problem. How do you get it to stay on your fork? Squeakers, you wrap it. Wrap it is the answer to that problem. Excellent. So that's a bit of extra food for us. Got some muckroot lying around here. There's definitely some food knocking about for the duplicants to deal with. We'll get them to look at this one. We'll up the priorities on some of this. So they're incentivized to come down and have a look at this stuff. And we'll also incentivize this and this. Lovely. Oh, there, that is... Thank you so much for resubscribing for 4 months in a row, Ohms. That is amazing. Thank you so much. A little bird once told me, cuckoo, cluck, haha, quack. I mean, that sounds like a whole range of little birds, to be honest. Welcome in today. I hope you are well, that you have a weekend to look forward to. Heat and water. Heat and water that is vaguely a part of the oil biome, but I suppose that's not going to matter very much. It was a special bird. That seems fair. But yes, we have some heat and water. So, you know, if there's a huge problem, we can build some oxygen like here. I mean, it wouldn't be the ideal place that I want to pump all of my oxygen from. But, you know, if we have to, that is a thing. I'm so excited to break into this cold. It could have been 3 in a trench coat. I'm very excited to break into this cold oil biome. But we do still need to worry a little bit about eating. Frankly. Oh, this one's broken again. This is the worst one for getting broken. Do geysers tend to give more water than steam vents? They do, Squeakers. So well, the warm geysers, polluted water, water and salt water mostly give somewhere in the 2.5 to 3.5 kilos a second, whilst active. I think it's active? No. Average output. Whereas your steam vents mostly give an average output of like around 1.5. They're sort of half as effective. So this one's quite low. It's 1.1. This one's quite a decent one at 1.6. You can't see because my face is always in the way of that. I remember. This is the only thing where my face is a massive problem. Yeah, so I have this mod which gives me the calculated average output. And you can see that these steam vents, we've got this one's 1.6, which is a slightly better than average cool steam vent. This one's 1.14. The only different from the difference from the rules that geysers are generally better. It's actually the cool slush geyser, which usually has about the same sort of output as a cool steam vent. So this will also be about 1.5. But when we analyze this, I would expect it to average out about 3. It is useful. It's really useful. Because you can go to the ONI assistant and get the calculations done there, but why would I bother when I can just have a mod that saves me having to go to a different website to do it? Oh yeah, there's extra food here if we need it. Cool. Right. So it's definitely attacking vents and geysers time. So let's have a look at this one, especially because this one might also show us some more food, which we'd be happy to see. Am I paused? No. It's just that nothing is happening over here. Not a problem. No liquid out. Have we not built this? Dupes, get on that. So yes, the map's going okay. We have this nice pool of water here. We have some shovel legs, which will eventually be a good food source. Oh, there's one over there. We should go and dig in that one. We are starting to box in this base so that we can retain some of the heat, hopefully, out of this water. But I mean, that's going to take a while. That's going to take quite a while. You have already won this map. I sort of think that might be true, Dot. I have liquid water. I nearly have food. I mean, we could grow, like, bristle blossom. They'd grow off this water quite merrily. Actually, we might have to make the water a little bit cooler. Probably not. But we could grow maybe bristle blossom or something to eat. I do feel that we're in a very good position. It's just whether we can get stuff up and running without starving now, I think. But I'm enjoying it, so I'm happy to complete the challenge as it was given. And see how we're doing. Buried up. Thanks. Well, it's heat. I mean, I don't really need any carbon dioxide, but it is heat. If we want it. They can't all be excellent vents. I mean, this disappoints me that they can't all be excellent vents, but you're shooting water to another planet. I think quite a lot of that goes on in the DLC, doesn't it? That's quite a necessary thing to do. Right, I think I'd like to come down to these, like, through this side, because I don't want to release too much of this hydrogen. So, let's do some digging. Cold map challenge. The water may need cooling down. Well, you know. Only if we wanted to run it into bristle blossoms. To be fair, the surrounding temperature might also be a problem for the bristle blossoms, so we'd have to see. I don't know if that would be a worthwhile thing to do. Just the irony of that. No, indeed. But then, you know, temperature is always a thing. We wound up having being unable to cool our rime map sufficiently in a lot of areas. So that is just, you know, it's one of the quirks of the game that you will definitely run into some problems with those things. Building lacks resources. Insulated tile. Oh, I don't care about that. That's not an issue. Lovely. That'll do fine. So let's have a look in these. How are we getting on over here? Have we seen any more Hexlant? There is some more down here. So we're also going to increase this ladder after we've got down here. and come and dig into this hexlant. I can't see any over there, but there is one there that I can see. So we definitely want to reach that. How are we doing down here? We're still digging out a bunch of stuff. There's some hexlant here that we're going to harvest. We could also go in and get some of this sleet wheat, but we still don't have a cook, which is a slight problem with that. Why are you making clean water as a point of interest? Oh, no, that's brine ice. Oh, you've just got some random ice in the biome. Fair enough. Look at this very, very pretty oil biome. Oh, I'm so excited to just go and smash it all up. I might need to do some planning as to what we're actually going to do before we go and smash it all up. But we'll get there. Is there any reason to get down here now? Not massively. I don't need this ladder. I think I will put a bottle emptier around here somewhere. You can go in there now for lead and fossil and flowers. Yeah, no, absolutely. My only real thing with the planning is because it's quite a long way for my duplicants to go and we're still struggling a bit for food. I'm only holding off because I want to make a bit more of a plan about, you know, what we're going to do with the colony more generally. If you see what I mean. It's not and oh my god, it might be dangerous. It's just, it's not even really, I need a plan for this. What I need a plan for is what I'm doing with the colony. So yeah, I haven't got fire poles yet. That is a thing that we need to build for them. Well done. Do need to build them fire poles. Is this all the gold amalgam we've got? Oh, we can dig more out. There's loads. I don't want that fire pole to be built on a 6, by the way. Ew, planning. Ohms. Planning is important. As well you know. You can build this fire pole on a 5. Cheers. That'll be fine. There we go. Oh, Volpups. Volpups. Copper is good enough. It has decor. If things have decor, I like to build them of gold. Oh, it doesn't make any odds. I always forget that. Never mind. We built it of gold now. Whatever. We can have more. We can have more. I just also like to build things out of gold to spoil my duplicants. Hello, Volpups. Right. We need to feed and generally make you into a survivable ranch. I need a very quick break before I do that though, because I need a drink. I need my brain to function. So I'm going to take a quick break, a couple of minutes only, and then we're going to be back with... Volpups are cute. They're much cuter than the actual shovels. But yeah, the Volpups are quite cute. I also enjoy the way they sleep half buried. Yes, so we are going to take a very swift break and then we're going to come back and sort out this ranch. Because we need to feed these Volpups, which is... I have never had a feed ranch in... Oh my lord. Ohms, drop your massive obsession with the fact that I use lead wires. We'll fix it at some point. Right. Yeah, we need to feed them, but then they will spit up. And I've never had a feed ranch for shovels in my base before. So this is going to be an interesting problem. I think we did, I did learn about robo-miners. That'll be a thing to fetch some lead for. So I think we will want to fetch some lead so we can deal with these shovels a bit more effectively. Because we'll need some robo-miners. Whatever. So yeah, we'll just need 2 robo-miners, which we can have one at the top and one at the bottom. So that they hopefully can't entomb them both simultaneously. Can we do that? Yeah, because they're not actually that big, are they? They're only 2x2. So we can put them like that, so they can't entomb them both. Then we need to work out bringing dirt here to feed them, and then we need to get them groomed and get them breeding. The good thing is that we don't actually need to move their eggs out of here to begin with, because we can just grow the population in here. But if we want to use them for food, we need to think about how we do that, because we can't just throw them in a regular drowning pit. And we don't have any petroleum to drown them in. So we will have to think about how we manage that. I mean, we could just, like, massacre them by hand. But that's a thing. Right, quick break. I will be right back. And we'll carry on with this. 2 minutes, chat. We are back, thinking about the problem of shovels once again. So, here's some shovels. Right, first thing we need to do is we need to get some lead so we can make some... Oh, what's the stuff called? The stuff is called robo-miners. That's what the thing is called. Well, whatever. Let's just carry this on. Make it go through here. Right. Let's just dig some of this stuff out. I want some lead. Gonna get some lead. Just like this. Don't need loads, we just need a little bit so we can make some robo-miners. I'd like that to be on a 6 actually. This is quite a high priority now. Because these shovels are our food source. Right. We don't want to feed them until such a time that... we don't want to groom them, rather, until such time as we can feed them. I mean, I have a cook here. But, like, this is not a very exciting cook. Well, we might want some algae. We're still using algae for food. I think we'll take some algae. Our liquid pipes are broken again. This is definitely a thing we need to try and fix. No, cancel that. This. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely them washing their hands that is the problem. I mean, I do want them to wash their hands. On the grounds that I don't want them to have toilets if they can't wash their hands. Can we deconstruct these pipes, please? No, well, we can turn the priorities on that up. Thank you. Then I'd like to build some more pipes, which we will also turn the priority up for. Cheers. Right. So, what do we need to do to make these shovels into a viable food source? We need to be able to groom them, feed them, deal with their spitting, and... what is all this? Oh, this is just carbon dioxide. And also murder them, ideally. The murdering might be complicated. But we could potentially try. So, let's have a look at shovels. I mean, this doesn't tell me very... this isn't a lot of information, is it? On the shovels. We call it evolution. You can call it what you like. I tend to call it murder. Because I think they don't drown. Am I right in that? Do they not drown in regular water? Oh, good grief. Alright. This is becoming a problem. What can we do to help this stop happening? Because the duplicants don't have time to fix this every 5 seconds. We do have plenty of water in here. Maybe we could just feed water in here. We'd need to. And not worry about it not coming out again. We're going to do this for a little bit, because we have quite a lot of water here. Which, we also have quite a lot of ice underneath. So that will also produce more water. And we also have loads of ice around the map that we could add to our water sources. So we're going to use some, like, non-renewable toilets for a little bit to try and solve that until we can get the base a bit hotter. Do we know if shovels drown? I know they drown in petroleum. Do they drown in other stuff? Does anyone know? Good, we're coming down here to fetch this. Did we look at this? Oh, we're still on our way to look at this. Fair enough. We'd also like to go and look at that, thanks. And by look at, I mean eat. Almost Emily has a skill point. Let's have a look at our skills. Almost Emily, I mean, it could give you this astronomy, but we are struggling to keep the morale up Why do I normally have more morale than this? Does anyone know? I think we'll leave almost Emily. We don't need the astronomy right now, so... right, okay. We will want... Oh, I can't say that I want to build them of lead, because we don't know about lead yet. Which is fair enough. Kaylee? I mean, ideally we do want exosuit training on Kaylee, and Kaylee can pretty much afford it because they're interested in both routes that we've put them in. And moving faster is definitely a plus. Have we seen any more Hexlant down here? No, not yet. Okay. Oh, it's so weird for it just to be like empty. It's really interesting. Would you normally have a nature reserve? I would often, but not always, have a nature reserve. I would say squeakers. I do quite like to do the nature reserve, but it's not a definite. I imagine that it's still quite early. I wouldn't even necessarily have them on barbecue yet, to be fair, but so I don't, yeah, I'm not entirely sure why we seem to be struggling quite so much with morale. There normally be something else. This is a great hall, isn't it? Yeah. No, don't know what I would normally have. But the nature reserve is a huge bonus when you can build it. Absolutely. I'm having some problems thinking about this because I don't know whether I can... Let me look at the wiki. It's on the other one. Wiki. Not duplicants. Critters. Shovels. Do you drown? That is what I want to know. Is do you drown? You are wrangleable. You give loads of... Yeah, that's all great. Yes, that's fine. Steel airlocks, pneumatic doors, abyssalite, robo-miners. I mean, that's all fine. But I need to know how I kill them. The wiki does not tell me how I kill them. I've been let down by the wiki. It doesn't tell me whether I can drown them. I mean, as long as I can contain them somewhere, I can starve the excess. It'll be slower, but it would be doable. Kill the shovels. So I want to be able to move their eggs like into an evolution chamber or drowning pit of some sort. You can drown them with any liquid. Lovely. That is all I needed to know. Thank you so much for that helpful information, Dot. That is what I needed. Right. So, I need to start thinking about kitchens then, because this is where I was going to put my kitchen. On this floor here. Let's maybe deconstruct this. We also might move the bucket of pee somewhere else. But the problem is that they are hard to keep in that room. That I can address. I know exactly how to address that. That is no worries at all. So I'm not concerned about that. Ah, we entered the oil biome. How lovely. Yeah, I'm not concerned about keeping them there. I know how to do that bit. I was just like, I've never drowned them in anything that isn't petroleum, because I've also never ranched them in the base. I've only ever starvation ranched them in the base, so then you don't have to worry about like any of that sort of stuff. But I obviously will now. So I would like to think about this becoming a kitchen. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. I mean, I don't know if it's in any way worthwhile to build like a big kitchen setup, but I've got plenty of room along here, so I can do 1, 2. And if I've got the room, I might as well plan the room. Sorry, this isn't that important. Go back to the other things you were doing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, and then that. So that would be ranches, grills. So I'd want my drowning chamber back here somewhere. Do we need to get out there? I can move that. That'll be fine. So I just make a box from obsidian full of water, send extra eggs there, and collect meat with auto sweepers. Make frost burgers later on. We might do that. We made spicy tofu last time, so we might make frost burgers this time. Absolutely. Let's then start thinking about a drowning pit. We might use a bit of insulation back here and just be a bit careful. You can be insulation. We'll build all of this floor of this. If I recall, having it be like here works pretty well. We'll just do a regular drowning pit, to be fair. But just made from obsidian rather than granite. But I think I'm also gonna, just for role-playing as much as anything else, also we're a bit short of mafic, so why not? We'll have this bit of the wall be obsidian as well. Prophet, you might want to be cautious wandering out there. But yeah, frost burgers on the run sounds like quite fun. How are we getting on? Why don't you have water? Oh, right, okay. So you're confused by that, are you? There you go. Just go in the tanks. Maybe we need to bridge you back on. We might need to bridge this back on. Which is moderately aggravating. But if we do that, and then build a bridge here, that should allow this to come back on without... will it? No, that's a white to a green, so that should be fine. It shouldn't be freaked out by that. I mean, it might be freaked out by that, but it shouldn't be. Food shortage, again. Damn it. Let's have a look. What do we got in terms of food? Our hatches are still around, so we can eat them if we need to. Do we see any nice available food sources? Oh, there is some hexlant there. It will. It will what, Ohms? It will good, it will bad. You often comment in a way that suggests that I remember what I just said. And this is not a problem with your comment. This is a problem with the fact that I have no idea what I just said. It will be confused. Oh, God. Fair enough. Yeah, no, the problem is that I just don't remember what I just said, so. Why would it be confused, though? It should be white to green. It should be like, oh, that's fine. Did you already dig out the starting biome? Yeah, pretty much. We're pretty much done with the starting biome. Oh, I remember where there is. There's also, this. We can go in there as well. green to white though. Oh, so when it comes in here, it won't know which way it wants to go. Yeah, right, I'm with you. I am with you, Ohms. What if... if we do that... oh, well then it's green to green. What if we do this? Will it manage to do that, do we think? I hate pipe mechanics. I mean, I actually love pipe mechanics, but I also hate the pipe mechanics. They're super complicated. You don't think it will be confused, or you do think it will be confused? Again, this is context dependent on what I just said, which I no longer remember. The other one should have been fine, aka the second version. Oh, whatever. We'll give it a go and we'll see what happens. I'll come back and look at it in a minute. And if it's not working properly, we'll sort it out. Oh, sinks. You're a problem, sinks. You don't have to keep an eye on you. Right, food. That is the current problem we're having here. We've got some hexlant, I guess, from over here. Oh, there's more to get. So, where did this come from? Oh, we found a bunch of muckroot. This is some sort of vent. Not a geyser, but let's have another try into finding out what's in here. Is this more carbon dioxide? Bloody is. Don't want more carbon dioxide, god damn you. Right. Can we prioritise getting down here? Let's see what's in these ones. Posture check. Certainly, Life of Steel, thank you very much. Oh. Ooh, more hexlant. That's cool. Printables. No food. I don't want any of these. An unconstructive digger and a mouth breather. Definitely not. I might take some balm lily. No, we'll take mirth leaf. We'll take mirth leaf. Excellent. How are we getting on here, duplicants? We're building a thing. We're building this. That's okay. We don't have to rush with this. This is fine. There are more important things to worry about just now. But they're sort of getting here on this, which is alright. So, I took a mechatronics engineer, didn't I? Max. Yeah, you don't know very much about being a mechatronics engineer yet, but you will do. And then we'll be able to drop the shovels in here and eat them. Which will please me. Let's have a little sweep. Where are you going, Prophet? Oh, we need to think about how much dirt we have, because we need to feed them dirt. Oh, we have like 300 tons, so that'll keep them going for a while. I'm definitely going to wait until they're adults to like give them any food or anything. How are we doing in... Good, we have some lead here. That's lovely. I kind of want to get down to the bottom of it. But we might have to wait a little bit to do that. So we should now be able to build a couple of robo miners out of lead. I know these have decor, but like I don't have other refined metals yet. There we go. So that will allow us to deal with our shovel spitting problem. We can also, if we choose to incubate the shovels, we can do it in here, which is not something I've ever really thought of before, because I've also never bothered incubating the shovels. But we might like to incubate some shovels. We don't have anywhere near enough power for this malarkey. But, we'll see what we can do. Get on, let's have an investigate. We also need to get to here. Get extra food. Right. This can also be a 6. I mean, they won't come and do this because they have some 6s that are closer to base. And they're going to be much more excited to do 6s closer to the base than to come and do these. This looks like there's going to be another sandstone biome underneath as well. Which will not be too bad because that will give us, yeah, more food. Oh no. There you go. Neo's come over here to do it. Slowly and surely. Oh, there's more Hexlant over there. Oh. Yeah, that'll do. They can jump down there and dig that out. Let's make this a 6 as well. How are we doing for food? We don't have loads, so we'd definitely like them to get on with that at some point relatively soon. Thank you, duplicants. Oh, we will need... I wonder if we'll be able to make enough thermal mass here to actually keep it as liquid. That might be an interesting and unexpected problem. We'll have to see how we do with that. How are you doing? You're going to be active for quite a little while yet. Excellent. So we've got 2 duplicants down here heading towards food. There's more sandstone over here. So there is yet more food. This is... yeah, this is another sandstone biome as well. I mean, the other advantage of sandstone biomes is that they're... and forest biomes actually, is that they're both dirt heavy. Which will... oh, there's more Hexlant up there as well. Which will help us feed our shovels. Which will be handy. Since they will become our food. We do kind of need to get a cook. Fairly soon. Once these shovels grow up and start producing. We could definitely do with getting some cooks. What did I... does anyone remember what I said was the shovel numbers to... I think it's like 2.5, isn't it? I think you need 2.5 shovels to starvation ranch them for a duplicant. Because in our duplicant ranches, on the 100 Sheep Challenge, when we built their little bases... each of them had... did they have a whole 100 shovels? I think they didn't need them, but we gave them like 100 shovels, which was way more than they needed. I think the actual figure was about 70 or something. We worked out they would need. Name generator doesn't work. Did you try and spend your points on doing the thing? Let me have a look. Yes, the 1,000 points. But it doesn't work. Why doesn't it work? Let me look at Twitch. Hang on. Let me look at Twitch and see if it went through here. Oh. It went through on Twitch. It just doesn't show on... in the chat for some reason. I don't know why, but I can see it on the on my Twitch feed, Life of Steel. So, no, you did not lose. So, let's look at who we've got. You can be Max. Life of Steel, because Max is unnamed. You have to be the engineer. That's the only one I've got that's unnamed. Is that okay? Or would you like to wait? I don't know when I'll get another Digger Tube. Yes, that's cool. No problem. Lovely. So, welcome in, Life of Steel. Thank you for using your points. Have I hit caps lock? Oh no, it's just that their Fs are really weird. That's fine then. It's just a font issue. Welcome in, Life of Steel. You are going to be our engineer. Should be pretty cool. I'm very fond of an engineer. So, what are we doing? We're beeping about food shortages. Well, maybe it would help if we actually dug up. Oh, we've reached the side of the map, look. This is the side of the map. That's interesting. Cool. So, yeah, that's quite cool. Let's go. Lovely. Do you want to build one over here? And we'll dig out these as well. This can also be a 6, since we're a little bit short of food. But yeah. We found all the way to the side of the map this side. We've actually revealed quite a lot of the map, mostly just in our search for food. Normally I would have done this in my search for geysers. Oh, we have an iron volcano, joy. Oh, and a polluted water vent. Amazing. Well, that actually is joy, because that means that we are going to build an electrolyzer right here, just underneath our base. And look, if we need cooling for it later, we're going to run it through this anti-entropy thermonullifier. Amazing. That's quite cool. Oh, that's awesome. Like, yes, okay. I swear to you that I did not pick this map. All I did was I rolled until I got geoactive and metal rich without any oil traits, because I was told I couldn't have oil traits. And I wanted geoactive and metal rich because I like it. But yes, definitely this map is slightly this challenge on easy mode. But I did not pick it. I had no idea about any of this. So I would like to reiterate that I did not cheat my way into this map. Right. We'll actually want to build the electrolyzer this side because we'll want to do some iron volcano taming up there. We're going to build Brothgars again. Not Brothgar. Tony Advanced Onis again, because I really liked it. I'll have to go back and find the video because I don't know if I can remember how to build it. But that one that we had on our iron volcano in the previous playthrough was really good. And I really enjoyed it and thought it was just a really great volcano tamer. Which, you know, stable, produced plenty of power, made the iron come out nice. I mean, just exactly what you want from your volcano tamers. And as I said, I've been looking for a new metal volcano tamer for a little while. I think that'll go fine there. Just make it underneath this. Yeah, there's no reason why not. Any infrastructure that we build on that when we put in a proper cool steam tamer should be pretty easy to fit above this. So. And where did it go down to? Wow, I'm so excited that we can have like proper oxygen, and it's just really cool. I realise that other people might not be excited by this. But you are here watching ONI, so I kind of think that maybe you are excited by this. Because, you know, one assumes you are the sort of people who are excited by this because you watch ONI. And these are the sort of things that are exciting in ONI. Oh, we can't get over there. Here. Dig this out so we can get underneath that, so we can get to that. Excellent. Thank you. So we've got these ones. Excellent. How are we doing for food? 20,000 calories. Not terrible. So the next thing I want to think about quite a lot is getting more metals. Because we're going to need a fair bit of refined metal now. Why not build a farm, Osanaki? This is why I haven't built a farm. It's minus 175. Yeah, this 100k doesn't really allow us to farm, so we're having to sort of what's the word, forage quite a lot. And we've got some shovels here. Oh, they've grown into shovels, so we're gonna start feeding them and sorting them out. Right, let's get the shovels sorted out. We're now going to focus on sorting out these shovels, and then we're going to focus on electrolyzing. Yeah, my question is whether I can get the water in here. I would like, I think our best bet is to pipe it rather than try and bottle empty it. But we'll have to see if we can do that. Successfully. This is all obsidian? Yes. Good. Should keep our shovels safe. You be careful with running over there. I'm watching you. Have you warmed the carbon dioxide a little bit though? It'll be fine. Okay, yeah, shovels are the next thing on the agenda. Right, to start the shovels, we are gonna build a bin, make a granite bin. We'll make it here by the door. We can definitely hit the door with robo miners. Yes, we can with both robo miners, which is important. Let's build some power up to said robo miners. Printables, what do we got? Fried mushrooms, amazing. We don't want any of these. We're still looking for a cook. We're definitely going to take some fried mushrooms, but otherwise we're looking for a cook right now. Have a look at the duplicant skills. Neo. Yes, I'd really like you to have exosuit training. Emily, we're still going to leave you not having astronomy because you don't need astronomy yet. So because we're not very interested in whether you have astronomy yet, we won't bother to give it to you. Look at the duplicants. They're being very, what's it? Industrious. That's the word I was looking for there. So this is gonna be on a 6, I think, because we actually want someone to do it. And I'd like you to fill it with dirt. I think we're gonna use some critter feeders. Just because I'm concerned that otherwise nobody will actually bring food to these shovels. And I'd like them to have some food, essentially. I don't know. We're apparently doing it. I suppose Emily doesn't actually have any research to do. Emily, your priorities. Yeah, no, we'll leave it like that. That's fine. Let's put in some critter feeders. Because I think if we use them, the shovels are more likely to get fed. Like, in the long term when we start doing other things. Is this water? Right. Good. This is built. So just for a second, I want to break that pipe and have all the water come up this way. We might not be... I'm also going to break this. Because we might really struggle to get enough water in here to have it stay liquid. We've created a bit of liquid. You can do it. Temperature is dropping. I wonder how much thermal mass we need for it to be able to maintain its temperature. Because then it will have the, once we get it going, it should have the heat of... Oh, shovels aren't hot, apparently. I wonder if they're born hot. Other things are born hot. Most young critters are hot. So they will add heat for us into this. But this might be problematic. In terms of whether we can keep it. Do we have any... There isn't any wild ethanol on this map, is there? Because that would be a goer. Okay, so this is done. These are going to feed shovels, which is therefore dirt. We'll put them on a 5. We might put an auto sweeper up there to help control them. When we can build one. I mean, we can't build one yet, so whatever. I'm going to copy that over to there. And now we are feeding our shovels. We are also going to groom them so that we can get more shovels out of them, essentially. I'm going to groom the shovels to make more shovels. That is the plan. It's going down quite quickly. This is going to be a problem, isn't it? We'll have to see. What's happening there? Oh, you're building these, are you? Yep. Duplicants are being nice and active, which I'm enjoying. We still have quite a bit of time for that. Now, the other thing I'd like to do is I think we're just going to go... so, one of the things I'm going to do right now is I'm going to be like, whatever. Hello, oil biome. Never mind gases. Let's build a lovely straight line that goes up and down. Oh, well, that can be a 6, I guess. Because, you know, when do you get to do this? So let's do it. I mean, I might regret this later and we might have to do some work, but that'll be fine. I don't care. I think it's funny. I've never got to do this before. It certainly appeals to my sense of order. So we're just gonna run a line straight up and down this whole thing. From space to the magma. I don't know where the magma is yet, but I think there will still be magma. Maybe there won't be. Maybe I get frozen core down the bottom, but we'll see. But yeah, that's entertaining me. Right, what will do though is we'll build this ladder at a 5 because it's just not that important. So we're clear. We've got other things that are maybe more important to be getting on with. Right, grooming stations. It is quite important that we do some grooming. We will be able to fit an incubator in there if we choose to power one. So I think all in all, not too bad. We've got an actual ranch. Where is it? Actual stable of actual critters that aren't dead. Amazing. I'm excited. I realise this might not be the most thrilling thing that's ever happened, but I am excited. How is the temperature in here? Well, we got a tepidizer in here, so that's going to keep that one going. This, I'm going to fill up way over what I necessarily would so that we can keep some thermal mass in there as much as possible. So that we have a better chance of keeping that liquid. Right. Thing number 387 that I'd like to do is let's start using this polluted water. We should build some more of these. This is going to be an excellent place to build some. We'll put some mesh tiles in so that we can... Oh, we didn't have mesh tiles when we used that, did we? It's pretty funny. These could be copper, whatever, they're nearby. These can be mesh tiles, just so we can clean up some of this. Oh. Right, you. You need a wall. That wall... We'll build this one of... Oh no, we don't want to build this of mafic, because we haven't got any mafic currently. It's going to come down here. That seems fine. We might need to think about how far over do I need this to reach. I think it's about there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think that's fine. I think that should be enough room to put in the volcano tamer. I kind of want to go back and check. I wonder if I can quickly check. Bear with me 1 second, chat. What am I doing? I am... looking for... volcano? Metal. This is the one. 3. Yeah. Oh, he's only actually got 2 before the wall because the Aquatunus sits right next to it. Cool. That's okay then. We're gonna put it there. Oh, hang on. I can't see chat. There's chat. Lovely. Inside here we're going to put some granite. 1, 2, 3. Is this deep enough? No, I think we want it a little bit deeper. Considering this is going to be for oxygen, we want to make sure that we can keep plenty in here. There we go. So, dig down here and down here. We can also dig out all around this. This can go, that can go. These can go. Lovely. Right. So we'll free that. Excellent. The robo miners are doing their job here. Not letting the shovels entomb everything. Are you doing any actual grooming? Yes, they are all groomed. So they're still wild, but they are groomed. Oh, hello. Moose frites for the fam. Steak frites for you. I mean, could you be any more Belgian? Dr. Trophonius. Sorry, I should not tease you. But I hope you can accept that that was a very tiny tease. I hope your dinner was lovely. Steak frites sounds lovely, actually. Steak frites is something I would enjoy. I mean, you do have very good frites there, so. Right, we want to put a door over the top of this. Like so. And we want to hope this doesn't turn to ice. Which it might do. But we'll try. We'll try. Oh, let's cancel these. Why are we actually on deconstruct all? No, deconstruct buildings, thanks. Good grief. There we go. Is that solidifying CO2 on the floor? Yes, indeed it is the answer. What is actually more unusual for this map is we actually have some liquid CO2 on the floor over here. We're definitely not yet... Who has made a mess? Life of Steel? What is going on here? Oh, I did reroute the water so it didn't go in there. What is going on? Why haven't you moved across, water? I mean, there should have been no need for them to make a mess there. But whatever, game. Not that it really matters, because we can still put their pee in this box, which is where we're keeping it. Well, actually, now we've found this polluted water vent, we'll be able to chuck it in the polluted water vent and turn their pee into oxygen. Which is pretty exciting. Again, this is the sort of thing that I find exciting. I mean, let's face it, I also find building a ladder all the way up and down the map exciting, so, you know. You pays your money, you takes your chance around here. Oh, yes, that's the thing we need to do. We could do with demolishing this as well. Might need to move some of this brine ice out the way. So it can't, we might as well do that one as well, because otherwise that sand's just going to fall straight in here. So that it can't get mixed up in this. We are also going to have to think about where we are going to turn this water into clean water to feed our electrolyzer that we're going to build over here. This can be the 6, actually. This can be the stuff that we do at high priority right now. Look at our stress. It's only 4%. Who would have thought that just having bathrooms would make the duplicants feel so much better? But apparently it really does. Oh, I don't know why I'm paused. It's just one of those habits from playing by myself where you just hit the space key all the time. There's another cold biome in here. This map definitely has more cold biomes than Rime does. Rime hardly has any cold biomes. But we have lots of cold biomes. We'd also do with digging out some mafic. There's mafic on the way over here. What if we deconstruct this bit of wall for a minute? Actually, just cancel those two. They can stay. And we do some digging across here. We'll dig through some mafic, and we can also go and see what's in there. Lovely. So this is coming along. Printables. Right, we're definitely not ready for Slicksters yet. And we'll have to take one at some stage, but I absolutely cannot keep them alive yet. So we'll take a wart seed, because neither of these are worth having. Frankly. How is... Oh, you're still wild. So your reproduction is not going to be that impressive yet. Still groomed though? Yes, groomed, happy, fed. It's going alright. We're about to make oxygen. Who needs to heat the base when we're going to be able to pipe oxygen in? I mean, this might be quite exciting. Once we start piping oxygen in, it might get, might have to consider some things. But, yeah. This is the beginning of making oxygen. This is a reasonably long process. It'll actually be a little bit quicker, given that we can just go down here and, like, dig out lead, rather than having to smash up other metals. Because that will make one of the time-consuming bits in the early game, which is having enough refined metals to make your thing a lot more straightforward. So what are we going to do about suits? I mean, we don't have any reed fibre. So that is going to be a problem. We can't make any suits yet. Because we don't have reed fibre. Now, I have set up a thing to build reed fibre, but we do have to raise the temperature in here fairly considerably. Before that will be a viable solution. And then there's the question of where we're going to put them. Where are we going to put exits and all of that sort of thing? Are we going to have the duplicants wear them all the time, like we did on the other map? On the Rhine map, which we might do, because actually having the duplicants wear them all the time was a pretty, kept them pretty happy. Ooh, our shovels are tame now. So we can have a look at their reproductive. Look at their body calories. It's just insane. 17% change a cycle. Lovely. So, I mean, we want more and more in here, so we're not going to eat their offspring just yet. And then we might murder one from time to time to ensure we have enough food. But as I say, we've got some other options for food. We've got this here, which should have some muckroot in it. This should have muckroot. Where was it? This should have muckroot. So we've got a few biomes that we can dig out for some more locavore jazz. We won't get locavore because I planted a thimbleweed, but which promptly died. But, I mean, I'm not really going for the achievements, so I'm not very worried about that. So, I'd like them to just destroy all of this. And then we are going to get them to sweep out only the liquefiable stuff, I think. Everything else can stay in there, and I'll worry about it later. But we would like to get the liquefiable stuff out, because we don't want them to create a whole bunch of random liquids in here. Excellent. So yeah, we've found 2 carbon dioxide vents, which at least are a source of heat. Not a very useful one. Saltwater geyser down here, which has just gone dormant. We've got our natural gas here. We've got the iron volcano next to this. Have we? We haven't come over here to find out what that is yet. Where is the other one? There's one here. I have a feeling oh, we've got cool slush, of course. We've got a lot of water again. We're not short of water, which is what I like to see. I thought I had seen another one, but I can't see it now. We'll find it in due course, I imagine. So yes, this is all going alright. So certainly at the point when we decide that we're going to ship some eggs out of here, we'd like to put an incubator in here as well. We might even try to power an incubator. We could do the timer. We could do an incubator on a timer because we'd like more shovels quickly. So let's do an incubator on a timer. Can we make it out of lead? Oh, well, it's not going to melt here, is it? It gives out a bit of heat as well, but we don't really care about that. Again, let's make a lead incubator. Wow, I can't believe I'm going to make a lead incubator. That's really interesting. This is coming on pretty well. Obviously only our proper diggers can do it at the minute because everything's abyssalite left in here, but we're getting there. Bearing in mind that everything is abyssalite in... Oh no, they've got some of this to make. Yeah, I don't want to do the sweep until they finish building this. Because we might get extra ice and things like that in here. Ice actually isn't a huge problem because the water sieve doesn't care if the water's clean. It'll just let it through. But we don't want to have any brine ice or anything like that in there. Or ideally any liquid CO2. Though it should flash to gas before it can become a problem, to be fair. We've still got these hatches. Oh, they've laid an egg and everything. Or one of them has. Their body temperature is fine. Living in our little cool steam chamber. So at one point we might be able to get those. And as I said, quite like to ranch some just because we could do with the coal. If we have a look at our consumable ore, we don't have loads of coal. Have some coal, we don't have loads. We can dig loads more out though. I mean, these caustic biomes have coal. The sandstone biomes have a bit of coal. We might actually struggle a little bit for coal because I chose metal rich, because I think that overwrites some of the coal with metals. But yeah, these will all have a little bit of coal. We can access more coal. There'll be some in here. Look, there's a big patch of coal back there that we can access. So yes, after all our scrambling for food, we are currently on a little bit of a quieter moment. Excellent. These guys have nearly finished this. You on it? Yeah, you're doing it, aren't you? Amazing. Do you want to build just this one? And then we're going to do a sweep. We're going to do a high priority sweep. But we're not going to do a sweep for all. We're going to do a sweep for liquefiable. You don't have to take the polluted ice out, because that'll be fine. But if there's any liquefiable that isn't polluted ice, I would like you to go and move it somewhere. Thank you. Excellent. Now they're heading over here again to have a look at this. They're also building our incubator for shovel eggs. I might have to try this map again in possibly in my own times. Not this map. Try this mod again, possibly in my own time, because I do feel that I have entirely, not deliberately, wound up playing this a little bit on easy mode. Right, we want a timer for this because I want to power it, but let's turn it right up. We need to check what schedule Prophet is on. Prophet, what's up? Oh, you're just a bit cold. That's fine, Prophet. Let's have a look at your schedule. When are you asleep, Prophet? Mostly in the night. So if we run it in like the middle of the day, you should be fine. And the reason is that we want Prophet to come and hug the egg during as short a period as possible while the incubator is on. So, I haven't got the automation, have I? No. Okay, well we've got water. We can do some more research. Since we've found something that we actually want. Let's do generic sensors. And we can have some generic sensing. Seems fine. Don't need to worry about those ones yet. We might want to do that at some stage, but again, I'm not that bothered yet. Desalinator, not necessarily now. I mean, I guess we'll do these, because we'll want... I assume there'll still be oil reservoirs down here that we can find, though we can't see any yet. And like we'll need to use them to get iron, essentially. Not iron, oil. So we'll do a bit of that. Food shortage again. Oh man, I haven't really got any I haven't got any easy food sources for you to go and attack. What do we reckon is the nearest one? Probably this one? Probably this. Right. You then come across here and into here. This is what we're gonna do. Dig. Dig. And we'll try and get some food here. We have got a couple of hatches we can murder if we choose. We could also murder one of our shovels for calories. So, you know, we've got a few options there. We want to set this stuff on a 6. Come and do this stuff. It's time to prioritize food again. Thank you. Hello, duplicants. Well done. That's what I like to see. You paying attention to what I tell you to do and coming down here when I tell you. Excellent. So, if we can get a little bit of more muckroot out of here to tide us over. The other thing we might wind up doing is murdering a shovel. We should be able to replace them reasonably soon. How are we doing up here? Oh, no, not that far up. Here. They haven't laid an egg yet. Well, certainly none of them are getting murdered until they've laid at least one egg. 47. Change is 17 per cycle, so there's about 5 cycles probably before these are ready. Well, one of the hatches has laid an egg, hasn't it? When we were looking down here, there is 2 hatchling eggs, right? In which case, we are going to kill the 2 hatches. Because we're definitely not going to be ranching them overly soon. So we're going to kill the 2 hatches for food. We might need to turn the priority on that up. This is... oh, well, this is a reasonably important thing for you to get on with, but, you know, we can turn the priority up later on. Look, we've already found some muckroot down here. What's this? This is another sandstone biome. Maybe? No. No, I think it's a caustic biome, maybe. Just got some sandstone in the edges. So yeah, but we can kill those hatches because they have laid eggs. So we can maintain our little wild hatch stash down there without worrying about it. There's no cracks up there, so we'll leave that bit. Oh, that's another forest biome in there. So yeah, there's going to be plenty of things we can attack. Lava eggs. I'm still not ready for lava eggs. I most certainly do not have the heat for lava eggs yet, game. Unreasonable. These suppliers aren't any good, and a ranching operator, I mean, what is that? Reject. Or maybe I should have taken the lava eggs to, like, I don't know, make omelette or something. I probably should have taken the lava eggs. I never, yeah, eggs are food. I never think about that. I never make omelettes, Dr. Trophonius. I am, like, a terrible person who just never makes omelettes. Like, I always forget that I can also just make mush bars. Which we actually can do now. We have water. I mean, I wouldn't like to be using my, my water on mush bars, but, like, we certainly can do if necessary. Lovely. We've researched some automation. So we can now put a sensor on this. Yeah, we'll make it of lead. Why not? Should we use timer or cycle? Within 1 day night cycle. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? We'll use the cycle sensor. And, we'll just use lead, whatever. Why am I putting it up there? Why aren't I putting it just next to it? Cancel. Let's not waste stuff. Cancel that. Automation. Cycle sensor. Let's try this again. There you go. Then we'll use 2 bits of copper just to do that. Lovely. How are we doing for duplicant skills? Emily, I'm still not necessarily thrilled. Would probably like Profit to be able to move quicker. They're going to struggle a little bit, but we are good for stress right now, so actually you can all just take your points. They're not going to go above 12 for some time, so they can all take their points, and we'll work it out. We do still need a cook, though. What's your system for the RoboMiner not overheating? Yeah, it's quite a different little setup, isn't it? Trying to think about what matters when you're actually just building it in the base and not in space. And also it's freezing. So yeah, it's quite interesting. How are we doing? We've got a bit of food. They're still digging in here. There's quite a lot of muck roots that nobody's bothered to come and pick up. You can't be that hungry, duplicants. There's more excellent fruit up there as well, look. I thought that was another forest biome I could see the corner of. So yes, we will continue to survive as we attempt to progress towards shovel food. I just really love that I can do this. So this is possibly the most exciting thing that I have done in this game, is be able to build a single line all the way down and not have to worry about it. It's just really exciting. Did we finish sweeping in here? No, we still got some liquefiables to move. Liquefiable chlorine, oh my god. Oh, maybe that's why this bleach stone isn't filling my base with chlorine. It must just all be turning back into a solid. Well, that'll be fine. I mean, I'm not disappointed about that. Congratulations, Emily. Well done. They're getting there. They're getting there. They are going to reproduce at some point reasonably soon. Until a dupe drops a needed item from the top all the way to the oil biome. What do you think of the oil biome so far? I think it's great. I love it. So far, is what I'd say. I'd like to know why there's oxygen in it over here. But apparently there is. Oh, someone's going to murder the hatches. I forgot that we never murdered the hatches. Well done, Prophet. They've laid eggs, so we can kill them now and have meat.